Welcome to the Darkstream, Voxday, voxday.net, and unauthorized.tv. Thanks for tuning in. This is a special Thursday night edition Darkstream. JDA was occupied, so no Archaven Nights tonight, which means that we can go ahead and do the music stream that I was talking about. So I was very happy recently on May 1st, Sunno announced that they were releasing their new 4.5 edition engine. And of course, I hopped on it right away, as you can imagine, and started experimenting with it. I won't bore you with all the details because, let's face it, most people don't care. The upshot is it's a little bit faster on the generation. Actually, it's a lot faster on the generation. It's a little bit slower but more precise on the section replacement. The timing's a little bit off on it for some reason, but it still works. You just have to, you end up having to edit more than you really want to. But it's still a lot better than when you had to do 10-second sections at a time. The audio quality is noticeably better. You still definitely have to master it afterwards. In fact, I was just talking with the professional audio engineer who did the Soul Sigma stuff, and we're going to be continuing to work together on a few things, which is cool. And the audio quality is better. Supposedly the prompts and everything are better. I don't know that because I haven't really experimented with that yet. I haven't done a broad range of things yet. I haven't tried any funky stuff like jazz or 1980s, late 80s house music or anything like that. I did try to do it with the 4.0 engine and it did not work. Supposedly they've added a lot of new genres and that sort of thing. They've also supposedly added more technical precision, and you can do songs up to 8 minutes, which is huge because even though you could technically do it until 4, it was always shutting off at like 3. So anyhow, now you can get, if you compose an entire song ahead of time, it will actually get through the entire song. So I haven't tried anything with like specific structures, timings, etc., etc. That'll be new. Right now, I was just trying to see what can I do, with my usual tips and tricks, what can I do? So, but one thing I wanted to show you first, and this is what's really remarkable, is, and this is why I'm just not interested in listening to people who are like, well, I don't like AI music. It doesn't have the same passion and all this sort of thing. I mean, first of all, that's total nonsense, because most of the passion and stuff does not come from the singer's vocal enunciations. It just doesn't. It comes from the combination of the music, the lyrics, etc., etc. The vocal intonation is part of it, but it's only a small part of it, in my opinion. I mean, you wouldn't have people brought to tears by instrumentals if all the passion was coming from the vocal intonations. But more importantly, most people have absolutely no idea how far music AI has come in the last year. And that's what I'm going to show you right now. So what I did is I put together a brand new song. It's called Disney Souvenir, hence the cover. And so this is brand new, did not exist before this morning. And I was working with it in 4.5, of course, which I will play for you in a few minutes. But one of the things that I did when I decided to do the music stream was I went and dug up, or basically went back to 3.0, which was exactly 12 months and 3 weeks ago. And I went and put the exact same basic lyrics into the system, same prompt and everything, just to get started. And this is what resulted. So this is the old Sunno 3.0, which was the state of the art a year ago. Now remember, I was working with it definitely with 2.0. I don't remember if I was working with 1.0 or not. But the point is that this is how far, comparing what you're going to hear next and then after that is going to tell you exactly how far AI music has come in 1 year and 3 weeks.
I see you walking down past the city lights, hear the thunder rolling from the stormy nights. I'm a songbird singing, but you can't hear the tune. I'm standing in the sun, and you're howling at the moon. Why don't you see me? I'm right here, waving my heart like it's just a souvenir. I can write your name for everyone to see, so why don't you ever turn and look at me? I wore my red dress just to catch your eye, and if you don't notice me, I think I'll probably die. I'm a Harry Potter, you won't even read. You know you're missing out, but you don't know what you need. Why don't you see me? I'm right here, waving my heart like a Disney souvenir. I would write your name for everyone to see, so why don't you ever seem to notice me?
So that's where we were a year ago. Now, obviously I wasn't tweaking it. You know, I could have gotten something better out of it. And you can see why we were so excited about it back then. You know, it was actually putting stuff together. But in retrospect, you know, you really see why people were so negative about it. Like you know, you can't do that. And at the time, you know, none of us were thinking that, oh, we could release something like this. It was just like, hey, what a great blank slate. What a great way to quickly get song ideas and that sort of thing. But then as the technology improved very rapidly, suddenly it became apparent that, you know, you don't even need to redo this. It's very good the way it is. Now this is this is the actual song that I wrote today. And because 4.5 can handle longer lengths, it wasn't necessary to do what is normally almost always necessary to do, which is to end up doing an extension. So you write the whole thing, you put it all in there, it stops after 2 minutes and 50 seconds or whatever, and then you have to extend it and hope that it fits all together and that sort of thing. So I think you'll be, remember what you just heard, and this is the current state.
I see you walking down past the city lights. You're the thunder rolling through my stormy nights. I'm a songbird singing, but you can't hear the tune. I'm standing in the sun and you're howling at the moon. Whoa, you see me, I'm right here, waving my heart like it's just a souvenir. I could write your name for everyone to see, so why don't you ever turn and look at me? I wore my red dress just to catch your eye, and if you don't notice me, I think I'll probably die. I'm a Harry Potter, you won't even read. You know you're missing out, but you don't know what you need. Whoa, you see me, I'm right here, waving my heart like a be Donald Duck and I'll be a daisy. I'm a mermaid singing, but you're shipwrecked at sea. You're kissing all the frogs, everybody but me. Why don't you see me? I'm right here, waving my heart like a Disney souvenir. I would shout your name for everyone to hear. So why don't you ever notice when I'm near? Why don't you see me? I'm right here, waving my heart like a Disney souvenir. I would write your name for everyone to see. So why don't you ever turn and look at me?
So that was a basic pop girl singer. I wanted to see what the system could do on the pop side, and one thing that Sunno does really well is it gives you those hooks. It gives you really nice hooks, and if you give it proper lyrics that flow nicely, it works. You can start from scratch and get a very solid professional song in a fairly small amount of time if you know what you're doing. Now this is going to be really important as we start working more on the film front, because there's a lot of demand for soundtrack stuff and original soundtrack stuff, because licensing from existing record labels is just incredibly expensive. A lot of people don't realize this, but the majority of the budget for American Psycho actually went to music licensing, which is crazy. But anyhow, so that was a pop song, and that's what 4.5 can do with a pop song. The vocals are really crisp, the pronunciations are good, that actually follows the lyrics very closely. That was always a problem with 3.5. You were wondering where did that come from. Interestingly enough, there's a remaster thing that normally doesn't work very well. I've never had any success in taking an older song and just saying, okay, yeah, remaster it with this newer version, kick it out, let's see how it goes. But I tried it with this one song, which some of you who've been around since we first started messing around with Music AI will remember. This is the theme from Midnight's World, or Midnight's War, called Welcome to Midnight. And this is the original resampling of it. Let me pop that up here. So this is Welcome to Midnight, and I'm going to play you two versions, and just settle in. We'll just play the whole thing because we've got nothing else to talk about tonight. I have no interest in speculating about the new pope and all that sort of thing. So this is the remastering of the original Welcome to Midnight. So you should, if you've heard it before, you should recognize it. But the audio quality is better, and it did make a few changes that were generally improvements, I think. So this was the original 3.5 Welcome to Midnight remastered to 4.5.
Lost among the years, lurking in the corners of phantasmal fears. Here an altered gravestone, there a missing page, hiding in the shadows, awaiting the new age. At last the black sun rising, unleash the right. shadows enveloping the light. Feel the flag of death unfurled. Welcome to the darkness. Welcome to the night. Welcome to the midnight world. Entered the high towers as only shadows can, and then reveal their powers to end the rule of man. So welcome to the shadows enveloping the light. Feel the flag of death unfurled. Welcome to the darkness. Welcome to the night. Welcome to the midnight world. Shadows enveloping the light. Feel the flag of death unfurled. Welcome to the darkness. Welcome to the night. Welcome to the midnight world. Welcome to midnight. Welcome to midnight.
So that was the remaster, and it's definitely an improvement on the original. I like the original a lot, just to be clear. I really like the sort of pompous, ominous vibe it had that I really felt fit Midnight's War really well. And but you know, it had this kind of muddy wash of sound that you can still hear the problem with that in this version. So now this is a complete remake that I did of it, just starting with the lyrics, starting from scratch and going directly into 4.5, not attempting to recreate the music at all. So this is the true new 4.5. Welcome to Midnight. So that was pretty epic. That was pretty intense, and it's interesting to see how when it's not being limited by trying to recreate what it did in a previous version, it's able to kind of play to its strengths a little bit more. So the guitars are really clean. The vocals are clean, and they cut through a bit better. And so even though the remastering kind of works, it's still something that I would generally stay away from. I've tried it with a number of songs, and that version previously is the best one that I saw. Can Sunno export instrumentals? Yes. Despite what you said, I think VD vocals would take it up a level. No, they would not. As you'll probably find out in a month or so. We've been working on this song that we're going to release, the final song for the Soul Sigma album campaign, etc., etc. It's a really good song. And the fundamental problem with the song is that even though I have the range, I'm not very accurate. My voice is not, whatever's the opposite of perfect pitch is what I have. And so the problem is when you correct for it, that's when you get that auto-tune sound, and that doesn't work with the kind of stuff that I like to do. And so we'll see. We're gonna try some stuff. If necessary, we'll just do the organic song with with AI vocals or something, if they sound better. We'll do whatever sounds best. Now, I know that because you know me, and it's kind of fun. Honestly, I still prefer my version of Big in Japan to Rachel's. Rachel's got a much better voice, but for whatever reason, I like the way that mine sounds better on that particular one. Other songs, not so much. But we'll see. That's what's fun is, when you control all this stuff, you can decide what you want to do and what you don't. But yes, Sunno does let you export the instrumental separately from the vocals. There's usually a little bit of vocal in the instrumental, but not enough that would make any difference. But that is something that I think a lot of singers are probably doing. The engineer is very frustrated that it hasn't gotten to the point of doing proper individual tracks yet, but it will eventually. And that's when the technology is really going to take off, because that's when the audio masters can start tweaking each individual instrument and track to optimize the sound. They can still make a big difference. When you listen to the Soul Sigma stuff, it sounds really good because the engineer was able to, put it through an analog mastering process that definitely helped. But he could have done a ton more if he'd had access to the tracks. So that's why it's going to be interesting when we work on the last song for Only Skull. It's going to be interesting to see what kind of results we can get from that. But we'll see. So continuing our voyage over the musical range, this song some of you have heard the first version before, and I wanted to do a very sort of aggressive, militant 90s Christian rap song in the mode of Kirk Franklin. And all I can say is that I comprehensively failed. It didn't come out anywhere close to what I was shooting for, but it actually came out pretty cool. And this was done on 4.0, and this came out sounding a lot like Kid Rock, I think. So this is Book of Ephesians, the No Storm mix. And I'll Get rid of the vampires. There we go. So this is No Storm.
Book of Ephesians, chapter 6. Our struggle is not against flesh and blood. Our struggle is against the powers of this dark world. And we do not go to war alone. The word double-edged, cutting hearts to the bone. Stone rolled away, now he reigns on the throne. Enemies front and try to topple the king, but lions don't tremble at an insect sting. Pharaohs crumble when his power's revealed. Evil can't shut what the spirit unsealed. Demons scattered, darkness hides in the shade. Our victory's won by the price that he paid. Almighty God, no storm's too loud. Preach, preacher, he splits the seas and he breaks the proud. Giants fall before the King of Kings. Hallelujah, every knee bow, hear the choir sing. Trumpet sound, gates of hell, watch them quake. Tremors in the pit when our chains start to break. He fed the 5,000 with the bread of life. No enemy can prosper when he wields the knife. The faithful march, every step lit by grace. Fear disappears when his hand's on the case. They tried to mock us, but the cross don't fail. He broke the tomb, even death turned pale. So tell me now, death, what'd you do with your sting? I got Jesus Christ, I don't fear anything. God protects every vessel he's using. The wicked know to run when the spirit is moving. Almighty God, no storm's too loud. Amen and amen. He splits the seas and he breaks the proud. Ha ha. Giants fall before the King of Kings. Yes, indeed. Every knee bow, hear the choir sing. With the armor of God and our hearts on fire, listen to the sound of the heavenly choir. Angels surround us on every side. God's book, God's will is never denied. Satan, you know one day he's coming for you, and all of your demons and your servants too. I have no fear because I'm down with Christ. Death is nothing more than the beginning of life. Almighty God, no storm's too loud. No storm. He splits the seas and he breaks the proud. Giants fall before the King of Kings. Hallelujah. Every knee bow, hear the choir sing. Book of Ephesians. Book of Ephesians. Book of Ephesians, chapter 6.
So that was Book of Ephesians, the No Storm mix 4.0. And I still really like that version. I mean, I like it a lot. Skydog says it's ridiculous how much better UATV audio is over other streaming services. Yeah, it is kind of crazy, but you know, when you've got a number of musicians involved in the project, Owen, myself, Hawk, it's kind of natural that we actually value the audio quality, and so and the fact that means that we can do the music on here is cool. Anyhow, I really like that version, but I thought, you know, let's try something a little bit, see if we can go a little bit more epic a little bit more big. So I thought, instead of Kid Rock, what if we moved it more towards the Linkin Park type sound? So this is what I did with the 4.5 with Book of Ephesians. This is the Mighty God mix, and I think you'll like it. Give it a listen.
Book of Ephesians, chapter 6. Our struggle is not against flesh and blood. Our struggle is against the powers of this dark world. And we do not go to war alone. The word double-edged, cutting hearts to the bone. Stone rolled away, now he reigns on the throne. Enemies front and try to bring down the king, but lions don't tremble at an insect sting. Pharaohs crumble when his power's revealed. Evil can't shut what the spirit unsealed. Demons scatter, darkness hides in the shade. Our victory's won by the price that he paid. A mighty God, no storm's too loud. He splits the seas and he breaks the proud. Giants fall before the King of Kings. Every knee bow, hear the choir sing. Trumpet sound, gates of hell, watch them quake. Tremors in the pit when our chains start to break. He fed the 5,000 with the bread of life. No enemy can prosper when he wields the knife. The faithful march, every step under grace. Fear disappears when his hand's on the case. They try to mock us, but the cross don't fail. He broke the tomb, even death turned pale. So tell me now, death, what did you do with your sting? I got Jesus Christ, I don't fear anything. God protects every vessel he's using. The wicked know to run when the spirit is moving. A mighty God, no storm's too loud. He splits the seas and he breaks the proud. Giants fall before the King of Kings. Every knee bows, hear the choir sing. With the armor of God and our hearts on fire, inspired by the sound of the heavenly choir. Angels surround us on every side. God's book, God's will is never denied. Satan, you know one day he's coming for you, and all of your demons and your servants too. I have no fear because I'm down with Christ. Death is nothing more than the beginning of life. Almighty God, no storm's too loud. He splits the seas and he breaks the proud. Giants fall before the King of Kings. Every knee bow, hear the choir sing. Almighty God, the great I am, the Word descended and the Son of Man. Giants fall before the King of Kings. Every knee bows, hear the choir sing. Book of Ephesians. Book of Ephesians, chapter 6.
Forgot to turn my mic back on, sorry. Anyhow, I was saying that Taryn and Skydog both reacted like as soon as that chorus kicked in. Which, to be honest, I did too. The first time I heard it, I was just like, okay, that's awesome. And that's one of the great things about 4.5 is that when you want a big chorus, it gives you a big chorus. And so I don't know yet if I'll do a whole album for Cradle to Cavalry. Cradle to Calvary. But if I do, this will definitely be one of the songs. Seas of Blood is also a overtly Christian song. And, so I'm intending that my next full album will be Soul Sigma doing Byronics. But, we'll see how it goes. I definitely do want to do some more of this type of overtly and really, I would say almost militant Christian music, kind of like what Kirk Franklin has been doing, but not gospel rap. Obviously that's not my genre. It's not one of the genres I can even do. So now for something completely different. And every time they have a new version out, I try redoing this because I love it so much. And this is Flow River Speak Water, that song about Siddhartha that I did very early on. And I'm still happy with the first version. Terrence says, please keep posting them to Spotify so I can infiltrate my works playlist. No, I like getting them on Spotify because then I can get them on Instagram. That's the only way you can't go directly. It's kind of annoying. You can't go directly to Instagram, even if you've got the original music. So in order to put it on Instagram, I have to publish it through Spotify first. I will do that when, I don't know, because these things have to be, I don't like to put them out on Spotify unless they've been properly mastered, and that costs money, and so I need to be cautious about that. But anyhow, this next one, like I said, I really liked how it came out originally, and so with each version I've tried it. I didn't like I didn't like the 3.5, I didn't like the 4.0 on it. But 4.5 did a really nice job. It did transform it quite a bit, but it transformed it into a more sort of David Sylvian way, which I love. So this is Flow River Speak Water, and it's a good mellow chill sort of way for us to end this music stream. I hope you like it. Let's see if I can find it. There it is.
The journey ends, sojourner's choice. Siddhartha hears the river's voice. The wheel turns, the river flows. Siddhartha sits, the silence grows. Flow river, speak water. Flow river, speak water. Whisper secrets to Siddhartha. Ooh, 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 ooh. his place at last. Flow rivers, speak water. Flow rivers, speak water. Whisper secrets to Siddhartha. Flow rivers, speak water. Flow rivers, speak water. Whisper secrets to Siddhartha. Flow rivers, speak water. Flow rivers, speak water. Whisper secrets to Siddhartha. Flow rivers, speak water. Flow rivers, speak water. Whisper secrets to Siddhartha.
So that was Flow River, Speak Water. And, you know, that was really the song that hooked me on Sunno. You know, I'll play the original some other time. I still like the original. The quality is not as good. It's not as perfect a song. I mean, that guitar is so fantastic. You know, it kind of reminds me of like almost an Indian Zen take on David Sylvian meets Enigma, you know. And I mean, I love Enigma. I love David Sylvian. And so, you know, when you work on things, whether you're writing a book, writing short stories, you know, you just really want to get that moment where you just really, you know, where it's exactly what you want. And this song is about as close as I've gotten to that with music. Terrence says, I prefer the lyrical cadence of the original. I do too, in general. But this works incredibly well with the beat. Now, the original one doesn't have a beat at all. And so, you know, I'll probably still experiment with it at some point. I mean, this is good enough. It could just be released as it is. But just because I love the song so much, and just because, frankly, there's more verses. You know, the first one was too short, and the extend stuff just did not work very well. kept transforming things and kept doing things I didn't like. But it's all you need for video. This is an 8K drone in 2 weeks in British Columbia. Yeah, I suppose. But yeah, one of these days I really need to try to hook up with a good videographer, somebody who can like do nice, pretty videos. That's one thing we're kind of missing from this project. John and the people he works with, they're pretty good at what they do, but it's not right for what I do. And so, but we'll sort that out later. We'll figure it out later. Right now, this is what I enjoy working on. This is what I like working on. And so, oh, and I can show you, for those of you who haven't seen it yet, this is our new leather. There'll be 4 more books with the current leather, and then everything is going to switch over to this pigskin. And I think you'll find it an improvement. I actually just got off the phone with them, and they're very enthusiastic about what Castelli Library is doing, and really looking forward to working with us. So anyhow, thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks for indulging me in my hobby. And I'll look forward to seeing you at the next Darkstream, which will possibly be tomorrow. I'm committed to doing 4 a week. Encourage everybody to get signed up with the new payment system and the new subscriptions and all. It's going to take us a while to build up to where we were, but we're going to get there. And I hope you enjoyed it. Tonight I'm going to get get my videos cut up on the Darkstream, and then I'm also going to put 1 or 2 of these songs up so that you guys can listen to them here. I'm Vox Day, and this is the Darkstream.